Hello, welcome to round 4 of the Saleucami Showdown, filmed here at Entoyment. As always, this video is brought to you by Out of Art Gaming. My name is Phil, and for this round, I am joined by
Andy Talbot.
Hello again, Andy. Welcome back to the channel. Really looking forward to your insights in this game, see what you think of what's going on.
Yeah, give it a go. Competitive X-Wing, slightly different area for me, so it'll be good fun. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Lovely to have you on it. And as we said in our last round, this is the Hyperspace tournament recently held at Entoyment. So a bit of a limitation on what people can have in their list, but it'll be really good to see what they're bringing to the table. And what we'll do now, we'll go through those lists. We have Conor on the right with the Rebellion. He's running 2 B-Wings in the form of Braylon Stram and 10 Num, both with tractor beam and those stabilized S-foils. He also has Dutch Vander in the Y-Wing with the classic R4 Astromech, suppressive gunner and dorsal turret. And filling the list out is Jake Farrell in the RZ1 A-Wing. So quite an interesting little list there. Some really beefy ships with a nice little nippy interceptor. So we could see how Conor does with that. And what have we got on the other side there, Andy?
So this one's probably going to be a little bit easier to explain and go through, Phil. So we've got 4 Red Squadron experts in the T-70 X-Wings, all of which have obviously got their integrated S-foils, heroic, and advanced optics. So 4 of the same ship, same pilot, same upgrades. So we've gone for a little bit of a swarm.
Nice and simple, easy to remember exactly what it's going to do there. Not going to have to try and worry about any synergies working off there. So I can see a definite advantage there for Craig in that.
Yeah, definitely. So Phil, how do you think Conor's list is constructed in terms of synergies? What are you expecting to see from it?
So it's an interesting one. Both Braylon and 10 love the stress, as with quite everyone that plays B-Wings is probably very well aware of. Now, what I find quite interesting is that they've got the stabilized S-foils and those tractor beams on there. Mm-hmm. So as well as liking the stress, they're also kind of hoping to get a target lock on there.
Okay.
Now, for those of you that aren't so familiar with stabilized S-foils, whilst you have them open, after you perform an attack, you may spend your lock on the defender to perform a bonus cannon attack against that ship using a cannon upgrade you have not attacked with this turn. Before you activate, if you are not critically damaged, you may flip this card. Now, it gives them the link white barrel roll to red target lock, so giving them the stress that they so love, but it also gives the option just to play a little bit of havoc with the enemy ships and moving them around, potentially putting them out of having a shot or onto a rock, which is quite interesting. Now, to try and help with that as well, you've got Dutch Vander, whose ability is after you perform a target lock action, you may choose one friendly ship at range 1 to 3. That ship may acquire a lock on the object you locked, ignoring range restrictions. So the B-Wings don't necessarily have to worry about trying to acquire that target lock themselves, because they can get that from Dutch. So it's an interesting little synergy, and it'll be quite fun to see how well that actually works.
Yep.
Filling that list out with Jake in the A-Wing, obviously the 3 former pilots are very expensive. They're over 50 points apiece, so you're not getting a lot of space left in the list there. So having Jake in there is, as your little filler, little flanker, is going to be quite helpful. And potentially Brennan or 10 could be trying to push those enemy ships into a nice slot for Jake to try and get that little sucker punch at the side.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we know that the B-Wings and the Y-Wing aren't exactly the most maneuverable ships in the world, right? So it's nice to be able to have that A-Wing to maybe start breaking up that formation that you imagine the Red Squadron will fly in, at least to begin the game. So yeah, it's an interesting one for sure. Yeah, it's very I've not seen the synergy before, to be honest with you. It's an interesting one. I'll be interested to see exactly how it plays out and how often it can come off. It seems like a very situational synergy for me.
Yeah, it is going to be an interesting one to see how many times it actually comes into play. It's almost, you're trying to put a lot of your eggs into that same basket there.
Absolutely.
It's almost like those B-Wings are trying to emulate to a lesser degree what the Nantex can do in passing their tractor tokens around.
Yes. Yeah.
But with less, it's not as easy to pull off as the Nantex can do. But it is going to be an interesting one to see. But as I said, Braylon and 10, they're very well-known B-Wings on the board. I mean, given the points of the overall list, I think Tractor Beam was probably one of the few things that you could really get in there. Possibly Auto Blasters, but you'd have to be a lot closer for that. And the B-Wings don't particularly want to get right in close too soon with only having that 1 of 8 dice as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one for sure. So I'd say my money at the moment would probably be on the X-Wings, mainly just because I think there's a more consistent output. I think the B-Wings with Dutch can have a very good turn, maybe even 2, but I think it really comes down to, can they do enough damage in those 1 or 2 good turns where their synergy may or may not come off, compared to the consistent output of the T-70. I think everybody knows it's a very well-rounded ship, right? It does a little bit of everything very well. The heroic and advanced optics, I think, are great ways to kind of even out even more consistency within those ships. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not the spiky damage from Conor's list is kind of able to edge out the consistent damage that I'm sure he's gonna take in a turn or 2 once we get into firing range.
So I mean, I completely agree with you there. The T-70 and even the T-65 X-Wing, they're very much your sort of all-rounder ship. They can do a little bit of everything. They've got really good maneuverability. They're quite strong in their overall hit points. You've got 4 hull and 3 shields in there, so they've got a lot of damage to try and get through. Absolutely. And they have a good amount of evades as well, which is something that is a little bit of a concern for the B-Wings and the Y-Wing. Yes, they're very chunky. They've got a lot of health, but it's only 1 evade dice.
Yeah.
So that's where I think they are going to struggle. But again, with Braylon and 10, they're not going to be so bothered about getting stressed. In fact, they're kind of almost going to want to have that stress, because that's where they're going to have their little bit of an advantage.
Agreed.
But yeah, no, I do agree. It's going to come down to how many strong turns Conor can get with those abilities compared to how consistent Craig can be in keeping guns on target.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It'd be interesting to see how long the formation lasts with the X-Wings as well. Like you say, if you can get all 4 of those onto any one of those ships, the likelihood of it being able to get down in a turn, I think is probably pretty high. Like you say, with the lack of evades, just generally across the list. But yeah, no, it's definitely going to be interesting. Before I ask you, do you know the outcome of the game already, or should I ask you who you think is gonna come out on top?
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I do know the outcome of the game. I'm not gonna lie.
I won't ask you then. That's
so
easy.
I've had to do some editing on this, but I mean, before I actually started watching the game to get all the overlays and everything set for this, and I was looking at the list, I kind of favoured the Rebel list personally, because I just thought it was like, I do like a good mini swarm. I do see the advantage of it. It's really good. It's really simplistic. You don't have to, again, worry about all those synergies and trying to pull off those niche criteria that you're looking for.
Yep.
But the Rebel list, it looks fun. It looks like there's a bit of difference in there. And I mean, for myself, I don't tend to run, if I'm running like multiples of a ship, it's never normally more than 3 of the same ship.
Okay.
And I do quite like to run different ships, because it can make it a little bit trickier sometimes if you want to try and fly them together.
Mm-hmm.
But it can just sort of open things up a little bit, because you're going to have that ship that's going to be in that right place with that right option when you need it. I mean, you look at Dutch at the moment, he's got his dorsal turret pointed to ship right. So he's got a very wide arc into what he can actually hit there,
mm-hmm.
which is something that the X-Wings won't have. They've only got that forward arc. So if they're not in the forward arc, Dutch has a bit of an advantage there. So we'll see how well that comes off. Now, I mean, how do you find it when it comes to formation flying? Have you really had much opportunity to give that a go recently? I know you're only just quite fresh coming back into the game after a bit of a break.
I think the term you're looking for there, Phil, is noob. So yeah, not overly familiar personally. Like you say, I would normally run kind of more lower count kind of lists at the moment in terms of ships, just to get used to the game again. But I'll be honest with you, four T70s is something that I've been gearing up for recently, particularly with the recent Heralds of Hope release. So I've got my four T70s now, and it's something that I've been looking at running. I think it'll be a list that I want to try out. Not necessarily sure yet. Red Squadron maybe a good idea. I might see if we can ship it down to kind of like a blue, and maybe get a named pilot in there as well to get a little bit of variety in terms of the actual pilots and the abilities between the ships. But you know, at least run four X-Wings. So yeah, I'll come back to you. I'll let you know. know.
I mean, there are some really nice new pilots in that Heralds of Hope pack, and for those of you that aren't overly sure about what you exactly get in that pack, do check out our unboxing playlist. We have the TIE RB Heavy in there, and also the Heralds of Hope, which was narrated by a good friend of ours and regular commentator on the channel, James. So very well worth watching. You get a really good idea of what you get in the pack. And also, I'm not going to lie, I know it's only new paint jobs on them, but they are really nice paint jobs.
Yeah, they're really good
on those ships.
It's just a nice variety, you know what I mean? Yeah. Obviously, there's the idea of being able to do a repaint of Poe's X-Wing, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, just being able to kind of have, you know, if you want to run three T70s now, you've got three distinct paint schemes that I can think of, unless I'm missing any.
For version 2, there are the only three distinct ones. If you want the opening and closing S4s,
you do. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, there is still the Black One version from version 1, which is a really nice paint job, and it's almost a shame that they haven't done an opening and closing S4s version of that. But hey, it's just black and orange. How difficult is that to paint?
It'll happen.
Well,
it'll happen.
FFG said that they were going to sort of shy away from different paint schemes, and now we have the Z95 in two paint schemes. We have the T70 and the RZ2 in multiple paint schemes, and there is two more ships actually that I've just remembered. The Delta 7 you can get in the two paint schemes, one for the Guardians of the Republic pack and the regular one, and also the Vulture Droid.
Yes.
From the two different packs.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they did say no alternative paint schemes, and they've actually done quite a few now. So
basically, they lied.
Yeah.
But if it looks like we're actually going to get into some dice rolling in a sec as well, Phil.
Yeah, and we do have a couple of target locks on that front Red Squadron. Oh, it looks like we're going to have our first shot is from Dutch.
Interesting.
Oh no, that wasn't the shot just yet. Sorry, that's still into the movement phase.
So that's 10 with the stress, which is interesting. So because obviously he can use that as effectively a focus token.
Yeah.
And then we've also got is that Braylon?
Braylon is stressed as well. So Braylon is focused and stressed. 10 is stressed, but with a target lock on yellow. And now we have Jake getting right up in the fight there. So it looks like we're going to have, I reckon, at least 3 shots.
Proper standoff.
Onto yellow. And I don't think Braylon has quite got arc.
I don't think so either. I think he's going to have to go. I can't even see the colour that's just behind yellow.
So you've got yellow with blue right behind, and then you've got green and red still angled in there.
Yep.
So the formation has broken up slightly. They're still close together, but they're not in that square diamond formation that they were just a moment ago. So let's see what we're going to get first. So it looks like we're going to have Tendum going first.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be interesting if Conor remembers the tractor beam. So that's 2 hits.
2 hits.
Oh, spending that stress and getting 3 hits.
Absolutely.
Oh.
So focus
and a blank. The worst thing if you have heroic, other than actual results.
Absolutely. Oh, spends the focus.
Spend the focus. So that's 2 hits onto the yellow pilot in the first round there. Ooh. And we are spending that target lock. Going to see if we can track to him. And with a hit and a focus, it's going to be difficult, and he gets the evade. So the situation arose. It didn't really come to anything, unfortunately.
Yeah, fair enough.
And so we've got range 2 there from Jake. So blank focus, and he's going to
swiftly moving on
because that will pop otherwise.
Oh,
a lovely blank there from Dutch.
Oh, no.
Blank to blank. That is just painful, frankly.
Nightmare.
It's not what you like to see. I think the only thing that's worse than a blank to blank with a target lock is blank to blank on heroic. So it looks like we've got Braylon going in on green.
Yes.
Using his stress to re-roll. Focus, so that's 3. Oh. Would you spend the focus?
Yeah, I would. I think I would.
Yeah, spends the focus. So that's just 1 there. Oh, in fact, I think... Was that on blue there? Yes, looks like that was actually on blue. I didn't realise he had blue in arc there. But still...
Yeah, range 3 on blue, wasn't it?
Yeah, getting a fair bit of damage in there. So now for the return shots. So to see who they want to go for.
Where would you concentrate your fire?
I mean, you've got everything can shoot either Dutch or Jake. So I would potentially be looking to take Dutch out so we can stop handing out those target locks.
Absolutely.
So that's 2. And focus, so that's 1 shield on Dutch. Because I know Dutch's gun isn't any more powerful than the B-Wings, but if you can get 4 shots into a low initiative ship, get rid of it. That's what I would say.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. It's definitely about just concentrating the firepower, right? So, funnily enough, I think I probably would have started with the ships that couldn't shoot either of the B-Wings, though. I probably would have started from the back, just to give myself a little bit more options with the front 2, just in case there is, there's a number of damage coming from the first 3. You've got the option with that yellow at the front there, just to go pretty much wherever you want with some free damage if it does come to it.
Yeah, I think I completely agree. Like I would have gone with red first. Yes, Dutch would get that additional evade dice, but then it can try and strip that focus out quicker.
Yeah,
and then you're going to have that better shot the closer in. But I mean, as it is, final shot coming in, spend that focus, 3 hits, and that's a lot more damage onto Dutch.
That is 3 more. I think it's down to 1 hull.
Yep, down to 1 hull on Dutch. So couldn't quite get him off, but again, focus firing. That's exactly what you want.
I'm calling some K turns in the next one just to see if they can finish off Dutch.
Oh, you reckon those red squadrons are going to K? I think
absolutely.
I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if green and red did. I don't think. Have you got the dials to hand? What K turns have they got? Is it the
4K?
4?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if yellow would be able to fit that. It would be very tight. Red, blue, and green could fit their 4Ks, no problem. So I would 4K with red and green. Get behind Jake and Dutch.
Sure, they're moving. Yes, yeah. Yellow, I reckon K. Maybe use blue as a blocker.
I would potentially block. I don't know whether yellow would fit the K. I think the blue would fit the K right in front of Dutch, but I think yellow, if it tried to K, would want to be ending up where Dutch is. So I'd potentially use yellow to turn up towards those B wings and see if you can mess up their day a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, he's got a two hard and boost.
Yeah.
Just to get in the way, like you say, and then turn up that way. I don't know. I think you just double down and make sure that you try to get as much on Dutch again this turn, don't you?
Yeah.
I think you still want two shots on Dutch just to make sure that he's out of it, and then you start working on a B wing.
Yeah, I mean, it's that interesting thing that came up in one of the videos that we've had on the channel recently. When you have a ship on 1 health left, how much do you want to concentrate on that with your forces?
Yeah.
To the detriment of the other ships there.
I get you.
Do you want to? You obviously want to make sure you get him down. I mean, in this case, you're looking at 1 evade versus 3, 4 if you get a range 1. So I don't know whether you'd be so worried about having to concentrate 2 or 3. But like with some other ships,
I'm just thinking they're firing second. If yellow is part of that, and you're having to put him in a risky position to make sure he gets the shot, then potentially you're looking at losing one of those ships. So 2 in arc to concentrate on Dutch gives you that redundancy.
Yeah.
But I get what you mean. Like the conversation of so it's on 1 health. I think even the game that we recorded recently, I had a point where one of your ships was on 1 health with some critical damage.
Yeah.
So I chose to leave it for a turn because I knew I could kind of come back to it and clean up the points later on in the game. But that ship wasn't the damage center of your list. It wasn't anything that could pass off target locks like Dutch can to help out the likes of the B wings. So I think I totally get where you're coming from. You can come back and probably clean up Dutch for a while, but he's the one that at range 1, if you've also got the dorsal turret in range, can put out the most damage, and he's probably the most synergistic piece.
So I completely agree there with you then.
In this scenario, I would get rid of it. Yeah. But if it was, like you said, like a random torrent in a swarm, you probably don't worry about it too much. You probably concentrate on something else and know that you can come back to that later on, as long as it's not going to be, doing a lot more damage than something at full health somewhere else on the board.
Yeah, I think going back to that game that we had, it also helped that turret was reduced to a pea shooter. Because it had weapons failure, so I mean, it was kind of there just to be like, I'm here just to kind of like fill up some space.
Absolutely.
And it didn't even do blocking very well either, because you 3 slooped over the top of it and went, nope.
But yeah, so we've discussed kind of like what we think that the X-Wings are going to do. What do you reckon? Because obviously far less maneuverability going around, particularly with stresses on Jake and on Braylon. So what do you think the options for the B-Wing and Conor's list is going to be in this turn?
I think the options are a little bit limited there. So I think that So I would automatically, I'm thinking, I want a K turn with Jake, but he's stressed, so that won't be happening. So Jake will be booting it off somewhere. He's going to be going off the reposition. I'm looking at 10 num, and there's a part of me that thinks that I would quite like maybe a cheeky 1K from him would be quite nice. Either a cheeky 1K or a 1 talent, because most of those T70s are probably going to be going past.
So he's got 2K, right?
Yeah, sorry, 2K.
Yeah.
So 2K or a 1 talent.
Yeah.
Would be quite nice from him. With Braylon, oh, here we go. Here's that 2 hard in that I sort of anticipated.
Bumping.
Yeah, that bumps.
Yeah, it bumps.
So right now, a 2K from 10 would be absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, that'd be great, wouldn't it?
And
stresses him out.
Yeah.
Gets the ability to use that as the focus. Yeah, love it.
And I think with Braylon, I'd want to be doing like a 2 hard down towards them because he's stressed. So he's kind of limited in what he can do, but he probably doesn't want to try. Yeah, he doesn't want to get rid of that stress.
No,
and the one bank won't get him round far enough.
Yeah. Well, the only way that I think that potentially he'd want to get rid of it is if Dutch has just done a 1 forward and he's happy to do his target lock and pass that off.
Yeah.
Then you'd probably be happy to get rid of it. But like you say, I can't see what Braylon would do that's blue that would get him into much of an advantageous position. Maybe the 1 bank towards the left. But is there going to be anything in arc? At that point, I don't think there is. Yeah. It's a really interesting one.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, that's not what I expected.
Ooh. Yeah, definitely
not expect blue to go there. I do. Yeah, I think that you were saying there about Dutch potentially doing that 1 forward. I think would be quite good. Oh, so we've got 1K. So we've got 2 of them, right? Which was yellow and green, but the other 2. So they've really spread their arc. They've really got their arcs spread out there. So they've got a good coverage of fire there. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
No matter where Dutch goes, he's gonna get shot.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Is this going to be a 5 over the top? Looks like it. Yeah. A 5 right over the top. Clear that stress. Probably boost, focus, do all those things that Jake can do.
You run away, basically.
Yeah, he'll probably barrel roll, focus, then boost. So I reckon barrel roll to the right and then bendy boost to the right to come back around.
Bendy boost.
It's almost a shame there's nothing else close enough there for him to give another ship that focus. Oh no, he went that way. Interesting. Oh, he must be looking to try and get out of Green's arc there.
Yeah, makes sense.
Oh, so yeah, he didn't do the... Yeah, just trying to get out of Green's arc, keeping his dial nice and fresh for the next round.
Uh-oh.
That is very unexpected. So he's still going to have a shot because he's got his dorsal turret.
Absolutely. Is it still pointed right as well?
It's still pointed right. The problem is there's no target lock shenanigans there now.
There's not.
Which is what I think that is very disappointing that he's not going to get those target locks.
I think the only ship that he would potentially want to actually shoot with that dorsal turret as well, the yellow that's damaged, is the one that's out of arc.
Yeah. And
we'll take that. Or is it on the lock?
2K.
Was just in. Oh, that must be just in.
Yeah, that is. I would love to be able to see a close up of that right now, see how close that was. But we got 3 ships, right?
Yes.
Oh, and he did do the one. He did do the bank. So, goes over. So clears the stress, but goes over the obstacle. So,
yeah,
no actions there. Fortunately for him, though, He does still have ships in Ark. I bet he wished he wasn't doing a blue maneuver right there, though.
I know, right? Yeah, that's the problem. I can imagine that
there's the roll.
That would have been with the idea that Dutch would be able to pass his target lock off.
Yeah. And he actually damaged himself there.
Oh, no. Not what you need.
No. And for the eagle-eyed of you there, yes, for some reason, the overlay's gone up in shields for Braylon. Evidently clicking the wrong button.
Good. Oh, there it is.
Well, suppressive gunner, so forcing them to take a deplete
or a damage.
Suffer a damage.
Choices.
I mean, to be honest, at this point, you've got range 1 on Dutch, you've got range 1, so why not take the deplete? You're still going to have your 3 dice.
Yeah.
And there we go. The overlay's now updated so that Brendan is now damaged and not gaining a shield from going over obstacles. This is not a new type of obstacle that comes in the Heralds of Hope pack that gives you shields, guys. We're not that lucky.
Nightmare. I bought it just for that as well. I feel robbed.
Yeah. And evaded it anyway, so we've got range 1 from 10 numb onto yellow.
This is where I think he's got to really do some damage.
Oh, yes. So 3 hits and a crit. That is some damage.
That'll do.
That's 2 hits and a crit.
Oh.
And what crit do we get this time? Oh, structural damage. That's not good. So -1 to his evade dice.
Oh. If only he had someone else in Ark.
Yeah. Now, Braylon onto blue there. So another shield off.
Starting to chip away.
Yeah. So a lot of shots coming back in there. So I reckon we're definitely going to get red's going to shoot it on Dutch because, I mean, why not? See if you can wipe it off the board.
Absolutely. I think you concentrate firepower then on Braylon at this point. He's got 1 less shield already due to obviously going over the rock, and you've got 3 rather than 2 that you can start doing the damage with.
That's 1 evade from Dutch, but that's still a hit crit.
Oh.
So that is Dutch very dead. Didn't really get to do much. Yeah, I think I agree with you. Put everything into Braylon now.
Yeah.
Because all 3 of your ships actually have a shot. You've got 2 range 1s and a range 2, possibly 3 there.
Yeah. Again, I'd leave green until last, see what yellow and blue can do.
Yeah.
And then green, you've got the option to shoot 10 numb should the scenario come up.
So only rolling 3, so there's an additional. So that's hit crit. So 2 shields off Braylon there. Not a bad roll. So now blue on Braylon. Going 4 more dice.
4 more dice for the focus on this one.
Yeah.
Oh, needs the focus.
Needs the focus. So that's definitely shields down on Braylon. That's a shield and a hit.
There you go. And let's see what green can do. He's got a chance.
Range 2 as well, so no additional evade there. No modifier unless you get not harassed. 2. So that's 1 more. So that's 2 health left on Braylon. So we have a ship down and a lot of damage on Braylon. I think fantastic turn for Craig there.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
big turn. Yeah.
He could be a little bit disappointed that he didn't take Braylon off, but the amount of damage he did put into Braylon, I think, is Yeah, I think he's had a really good round there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'd agree.
And yellow, yeah, being in a bit of trouble there with the amount of health he's got left of that structural damage. But again, it's back to that question: does Conor then try and focus yellow down, which would be quite difficult to keep a shot on because, well, I don't think he'll be able to really swing round to keep him in up. So,
so for me, I would be looking at yellow, blue, and red doing 2 talons all to the right, and then I'd be looking at green, doing maybe a 3 bank, 2 bank maybe to the left, just to see where, just to keep one kind of spy on Jake, or doing a 3 straight to try to block that 2K from Braylon. And then I think
Braylon wouldn't do the 2K there because that would land him on the rock.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, the 2K from Braylon would land on that rock. He would want to be doing the 1 talon if he wanted to turn around. Also, with yellow, blue, and red, it's the 3 talon you'd be looking at, and I think that could actually be.
Oh, it's 3, isn't it? I thought they were on 2s.
They're not that good. 2 talon is. No one expects the 2 talon.
No one expects the 2 talon.
Everyone wishes
it's the
they
one
had
thing
the
that
2
I
talon.
expect now. After playing you so much.
Well, you see Torrens, you expect the 2 talon now.
I really do. I fear the 2 talon.
Yeah. No, so I think maybe with yellow, just do a 3 hard round and possibly boost and see if you can catch Jake, follow up from behind with green, but then do the 3, even I said 2 there, do the 3 talon with maybe blue and red and keep them on the bees. Take them to take out Braylon and then start seeing if you can plink Jake down because he's not got a lot of health.
No, you're right.
That or it would scare Jake away.
Just trying to think what you would try to be doing with 10 at the moment.
Well, he's not stressed now, so he could just do another 2K.
He could, or maybe the 1 hard.
Or the 1 talon or 1 hard.
Yeah. I think I don't know. I'd probably try to be hedging my bets to catch green at this point. If someone's going to go after Jake, it's going to be green. And if one of them can be caught out from that, I think it is if green goes after Jake, then you could probably hone in on green a little bit with the 1K, and then just have to put up with going a little bit forward, maybe banking in a little bit with Braylon, and seeing what damage you can do there, and obviously bringing Jake back on himself.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that Jake's got going for him is his speed.
He can do anything pretty much he wants.
Yeah. I mean, he could probably be up at the corner where the T70 started before they've had a chance to get even close to him.
He's gone up and down that side of the board about 3 times already, isn't he?
Yeah. Didn't he start there at one point?
He started there. I think the first thing was a 5K up the board towards him, wasn't it?
It's almost like he was doing his warm-up lap in Formula 1, just like really testing those engines out, and then he's going to get into it.
That's it. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting turn, I think.
I mean,
definitely a few things that you can do, but I think, Conor's already on the back foot here. I think if you don't see an X-Wing down this turn,
then it'd be very disappointing.
I think it's going to be difficult. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the placement of that rock right behind Tendum is possibly the most frustrating thing there for Conor, because I think if Braylon could do something a bit faster and clear... Oh, is that a 4K again? Unexpected. But also, I think that actually is quite a good manoeuvre, given that, as I was saying, given that placement of that rock, it really limits what Conor can do with Braylon. And you're now sort of...
Do you reckon you're going to see a 4K with blue as well? If that's his thinking with red.
Oh, that would be interesting. And yes.
Yeah, buddy.
Some more 4Ks. I'm going to throw it out there. I don't think Yellow's doing a 4K, though. With that rock right in front of him.
That's the type of analysis you come to this channel for, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, you get other channels for that really deep, in-depth analysis and craziness. For me, you get I'm going to point the obvious thing out.
A rock intentionally. Yeah.
You come to this channel to find out that a box is indeed a box.
Good. I never knew that. I never knew that. It's good. I like it.
Clear, to the point, and concise. It's about as much as I can manage, to be honest. But yeah, so those two 4Ks quite nice. It really sets them up to, again, they've got some good art coverage there.
Absolutely.
And it sets them up to come back in as well and sort of be able to see what Jake's about to do and then react to it next turn.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it just opens up the board for them, doesn't it, really?
Yeah. And green. Ooh. The suspense.
What have we got?
Oh, interesting. Really going for those B-wings there, ignoring Jake.
Yeah.
Yeah, going for that block and also just, I think, looking at it and going, you know what, Jake's 36 points.
Mm-hmm.
Braden and 10 are, between them, 110.
Three Talon to the left.
Oh, we've got the 3 template out. Playing a little bit of hockey there with the dial.
Does a fill and knocks his ship.
You make it sound like I do that every time.
Only because it winds you up.
Well, it's not quite every time, it's just most times. So it's just a straight 3 hard there.
Oh, interesting.
No talent. So actually, yeah, assigning yellow just to be a little bit of a nuisance to Jake there, make Jake think twice about what he's going to do.
Yeah.
Will he focus or boost? I'd kind of like a focus round. I'd kind of like a boost round, I think.
I don't think he needs it.
I think
I'd just take the focus. I don't think he needs it.
I think the boost round guarantees a shot on Jake.
Is he looking to have a definite shot on Jake though, or is he looking to be a deterrent? So if Jake comes into range of another ship, the likelihood is he's going to have a shot on him anyway.
Yeah. So it looks like he's going for that more deterrence. Oh.
Yeah, that boost.
Boost round and see if you can come in on the side of green. Focus barrel roll. Nope. Keeping him de-stressed. I mean, he doesn't have anything that he's going to need to get into bullseye for. And I think the only thing he would do is get himself a bit closer to red there.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So we're just marking up 10 num. Don't worry, he doesn't suddenly have a reverse maneuver. But and it is the 1 Talon, but I'm not sure if that's going to. It's a bump. That is very disappointing. So he still has a shot on red, but red is full health.
Yeah, it's not what you want, is it?
Yeah, he would have
green's
preferred
full health as well.
Yeah. But if he had Talon, he'd have had a shot either on blue. He would have had a shot on blue, who has taken damage, so potential half points. Yeah, so he's now looking at 2 ships that are full health.
Absolutely.
I mean, Jake's got a shot on yellow, but that's obstructed.
Yeah.
So I think.
Interesting.
I think ignore Jake in whatever he's going to shoot at, because he's not going to factor into what the B-Wings do.
No, I don't think so. B-Wings go red.
Yeah, I would Yeah, target lock red.
Yeah.
And then hope to try and get that one shot tractor him onto a rock.
Yeah.
That's what you would need, because then you'd only be getting one shot back in to Braylon.
Absolutely. See how it goes. You need a big turn. Oh, that's not the greatest start in the world.
No, that's not great. That's not what we want. So only 2. We do have a
blank
heroic
save.
trigger.
Oh.
So that's your first heroic trigger of the game. 45 minutes in. And that's heroic to blank. Focus blank. So 2. So we are going to go for that tractor beam trigger.
Oh,
and that's 2. And that's him tractor beamed.
Gets it.
Yeah. So tractor onto the rock. Now, I'm not sure if you're aware of the recent update they did. Well, I say recent, the update they did with tractoring there, Andy. So once
run through it.
So with tractoring, once you get a tractor token, you can barrel roll or boost that ship in any direction. Ideally, you're going to want to be putting them onto rocks or in really bad positions, as Conor has done there. Now, what you can do if you're not stressed, which unfortunately he is at this point, but if you weren't stressed, you can actually stress yourself to rotate your ship 90 degrees. Now, the advantage of that is if you're put onto a rock and it looks like you're going to be flying over it the next turn, you can then try and position yourself so you don't fly over it again.
I get you, yeah.
Also, you can actually just position yourself. You can just change your position so you're actually, although you've been moved away from where you were, you can still get yourself into a nice position, which I have managed to use against Nantex. But that's optional. You don't have to do that.
That's interesting. Yeah. So was that who shot first? Do we know? Was that Braylon or was that
10 damage shot, then Braylon shot? In fact, no, I think that was.
I don't think
Jake.
Braylon
didn't have a shot. That was Jake.
Yes. So I think as good as the tractor was, that takes him out of Braylon's shot. So
you always should have gone with Braylon first.
I think so.
Yeah.
That's a shame. That would have been good. That would have been good.
That's interesting. So he decided to go range. Oh no, he had to go range 1. He was actually in contact with Braylon. So he went range 1 into 10, but he got a full spread and got all 4 shields down.
Wow. That's big.
So
coming up X-Wing.
Now trying to decide whether he should continue it on 10 or Braylon. I think at this point, I would maybe look at Jake trying to take Braylon out.
I think, is Jake not fired into yellow already?
I'm not 100%. I think I actually. Yeah, sorry, he did.
I think he did.
What about the T7? Oh, well. There we go. He took out Braylon.
Question, doesn't it?
Yeah. I kind of got them mixed up thinking that Jake and the Red Squadrons were on the same side there. But no, that's an RZ1, not a pesky RZ2.
Love an RZ2.
So this is now very much in Craig's favour.
Yeah.
You've got a fully health Jake that's done nothing.
He's done some fancy manoeuvres. Leave him alone.
He's tried his stuff a little bit. He's shown that he's got fast manoeuvres, and he's shown that he's got slow manoeuvres. So maybe this time he'll be doing something mid-range of his dial. You never know.
You never know.
I think I really don't know what to do with Jake. I think I'd be trying to angle to see if I can keep yellow in arc and see if I can.
Yeah, that's his only real option. I think get some points.
Yeah, I reckon you're going to be looking at a 2K from 10.
Absolutely agree.
I mean that dial went down very quickly, so I think Conor had always pre-planned what he wanted to do there.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think you can see the X-Wings almost splitting up into 2 packs here now.
What do you reckon? Red and blue sticking together on 10, green and yellow sort of like circling around that. obstacle to try and come back in on Jake?
Yeah,
or even Green could.
I think Green. I think you'll see maybe Red's, because Red's not got many options open to him because he's stressed on the rock, right?
Yeah.
So I think you can see him almost kind of like shooting over the other side of the board and supporting Yellow and trying to get some fire on Jake. And then I think you can see some turning in maneuvers with Blue and Green to try and stay with, because I think you've got to imagine that 10's going to be doing a red, getting that stress, like you say, that 2K, and just trying to position yourself for that. I think you can get a nice kind of like bank. Then we got the 2 banks, don't they? Oh, X-Wings, we got the 1 bank, so I can see a 1 bank from Blue. Don't necessarily know what you would do with,
I think
with
Yellow
Green,
and Green,
to be honest.
So I would say
Green's better position to go for Jake, but I don't know whether or not I would just send 1 ship.
I think what I would
10
do,
and 3 towards Jake.
What I would do is go 3 Talon with Yellow to the left.
Yep.
I would move Blue next, doing that 1 bank as you said.
Yep.
Red, I would probably be looking at maybe a 2 hard to the left.
Right.
Or just booking it after Yellow, and then potentially doing a 3 Talon with Green. That way he would also have arc on Braylon. And if Jake does decide to... On 10, yeah, sorry. And then if Jake does decide to come in to follow along with 10, then you've also got Green pointing that way as well.
Yeah, it's not a bad shout.
I think it's just Red's the one that I'm least sure of as to whether you do try and keep him coming down in on 10, or if you get him just to do maybe the 3 bank up to follow Yellow.
Yeah. The thing is, at the moment, I kind of don't feel like bumping is a huge deal for the X-Wings in this turn.
Yeah.
So if you moved and if you bumped Red against 10, 10's probably going to get a shot on Red, but is he really going to take him out? He hasn't even got the chance to actually be able to take him out. If you then Blue bumps Red with that kind of 1 bank, again, I don't think that really matters too much.
The reason I want to make sure that Blue clears is to clear that area for Green.
Sure.
But I know exactly what you mean.
I don't know, you could 4K with Green.
Yeah. But I think 3K keeps you in a bit better. Well, it's a blue maneuver. Is that a 3 straight?
We're about to find out.
Yep, 3 straight, hopping straight over.
Interesting.
Would you want to be closing your wings and barrel rolling them because you've got another rock right in front of you? So just moving 10 out of the way just so we can actually do that maneuver clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because it's an interesting one.
It doesn't put you in a great position there. So, I mean, I would... Because your bank maneuvers, like any maneuver you do now with Red, unless you were to barrel... No. So he's sticking with it.
Yeah, he's obviously just trying to keep his options open for what Jake's about to do. But
yeah,
I almost feel that if Jake does any kind of bank to its ship right, kind of left on the screen,
boost through.
Exactly, it's just going to boost through, and maybe concentrate a fire on another X-wing that's in range of 10 as well. So yeah, interesting one. Just got to see where yellow's going now, see whether or not he's trying to cut him off.
Oh, just a normal 3. I don't hate it. It keeps his dial open.
Yes, absolutely. Loving the 3 hards.
Yeah. So we've got a 3 hard maneuver there. Just going to confirm if that's a Talon or a regular. I'm assuming because they're trying to mark up that it's going to be the Talon roll, as they're going to be concerned about the final positioning. So I know we've mentioned this a few times on our channel already. You can still do that side to side, get it into what would be the normal position, and then put the template to another side of it, so you can then still adjust it. But yeah, we got that 3 Talon roll as we anticipated. And then what we'll be doing is probably marking him up for blue. Yeah, I like that a lot.
I like that a lot.
At
this point, you could just bump blue, couldn't you? I don't care. He's there. He's fine.
Yeah, you could. I think he probably was. I think the reason you would want to is probably just to try and actually get that action. So
yeah, I kind of feel like you don't necessarily need it.
No, with that weight of 5, you've got 2 ships. Although it does give a slightly better arc for blue. That way, not only that, if he gets his action and range 1 onto 10, then yeah, it's going to be bye 10, I reckon. Oh, that's
nice.
That's nice. And I think between us, that's pretty much what we called there.
I don't think I called that at all. I'm not taking any credit.
Well, I mean, red was the unexpected one. I didn't expect that 3 forward from red at all. And yeah,
call
2K.
That one though. Call that one.
We called that. I mean, I think we saw that.
I think
dial,
that was the obvious one, right?
Yeah, I think we saw that dial go down so quickly. We knew it was going to happen. Oh, lovely. That 2. Oh no! Oh no!
Ooh.
I said lovely, but it's not. That's a bump.
Not great. Bump on a rock.
No, just clears the rock. But I mean, he's not going to get shot. But he also doesn't have any actions, and he's only got a 2-dice gun.
Yeah.
I think the one bank would have left him with some scope.
Maybe.
But
I think
he's still got shots on.
I'm not sure the one bank would have done him any better, to be honest with you. Maybe. Would he have just ended up on the rock anyway, just on the other side of it?
Well, he could have had something to change those 2 blanks there.
Oh.
And this is where Rebels not having a forward heroic is a bit disappointing for them.
Oh. No, 10.
Oh, and this is where 10 wishes he was Braylon.
And he's just double focused there, isn't he? And he's the focus.
He's taken it. He's taken it. I mean, why not? You've got a range 1 shot with 4 dice. Yeah. Save that focus. You're only taking 1 damage. It's not even half points.
No.
Right, slow salute there for 10 numb. Bye.
Oh no.
Oh, that's
there it
3.
is. That's where you save that focus. Oops.
Bye 10. You've got 1 health left, and you've still got a shot coming in. So range 1 there. Yeah, another range 1. Oh. And it's not even obstructed either. There's 2. Yeah, guaranteed kill. He gets the evade, but unfortunately, bye 10 numb. So at this stage of the game, how easy is it for Conor to win?
Oh, odds on.
Yeah,
Odds
absolutely.
on. Absolutely
I mean,
odds on.
Jake can
I've got
take
faith.
Jake
I've
can
got faith in
take
the rebellion.
40s, 70s, one of which being fully healthed.
Don't worry about it. He's got 16 minutes. It'll be fine.
Yeah. I mean, he can definitely do 7 hit points around.
Yeah. Yeah. Easy. He's got this.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, it's very much now Conor is going to be trying to play for points. So,
oh yeah, 100%.
He's going to be wanting to try and get as much damage in. So, like, yellow's behind him. Ignore yellow. He's going to be, if he's looking at what's damaged, he's going to try and be getting on blue and try and cause as much damage there. See if he can get half or full points on blue.
I think you can. I think you can realistically try and get half points on blue this turn, and then just see where it falls and try to chance your luck on taking out yellow. And obviously, if you get 2 dice, you get 2 through. You got the option on blue next turn as well. So
yeah. And I mean, this right now for Conor is all about maximising his MOV and just trying to see what he can do. So,
MOV?
So margin of victory.
Right, okay.
So the points that he wants to be trying to put on the board to help him out. I mean, at the moment, Craig's in a really good position. Like, if he can take Jake out, that would be fantastic for him. But I think he's got 162 points plus the win. So he's in a very strong position there. And he did the right thing. He concentrated on the right ships at the right time. Getting Dutch down early was key. Stopped all that tractoring shenanigans. Yes, Conor managed to get it off once, but it didn't really seem to do much for him.
No, I think it would have been, in hindsight, obviously I've only seen this list flown once. I think I would have preferred to have kept Dutch kind of flying around behind the B-Wings a little bit more, keeping more at that range 3, that supporting ship that's able to not necessarily take the shots and pass that target lock off a little bit more. It got to the point where obviously I think Craig managed to engage pretty much all of Conor's ships at the same time, and he had his choice of target. And at that point, I think he chose the right one in Dutch. I think if Conor could have it back, probably would have been a little bit more conservative with Dutch's movement.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it would have just really helped them there as well. In that turn, he didn't really have much options to try and focus anything down to try and minimise what was coming back at him, unfortunately.
There's a nice little valley of death for Jake to stroll on through there.
You always want to see him put... so is that a talent roll?
It's got to be, isn't it? It's got to be.
Yeah. Yep, it's a talent roll. It does go over the rocks, so going to be rolling for some damage there with red.
Oh no, he might lose all his shields.
Might lose the last shield. Oh no. Would that make the rocks doing almost as much damage as Conor there?
Oh. You don't beat a man when he's down, Phil.
Right, so let's see. Was there some damage there? Nope. And yellow gonna follow in. I think, unfortunately, he bumps there. But to be honest, you've probably got at least 2 shots on Jake. No, I reckon you've got, unless Jake really just goes, nope, you're going to get 3 shots on, I reckon.
3 sloop to the ship's left. Love a 3 sloop.
You do. 3 sloop. Yeah, 3 sloop would actually be quite nice. Actually, put yourself right behind green there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. To be fair, I mean, I think it's the best move that he can do in terms of this turn, in terms of the game.
Oh, that's a
Like,
3 template.
oh,
Ooh.
yeah, buddy.
Called it. I think the big problem here, though, that's the fully healthed
Yeah,
270.
this is what I was gonna say. Kind of,
Yeah.
it's the best move that he probably could have made now, but for this turn,
That's
for
a
the
lot of
game,
focus, is that?
yeah, for the game, I don't think it makes a mass
Yeah.
load of difference that he's got some shots on green.
Yeah.
Was there, because he could do, I don't know, maybe try and get round the back of yellow, but you're not really doing an awful lot if you did like a one hard to the left.
One
and then
hard to the left.
boosted. I don't think you're going to get back into arc. So
No. You'd have to do some like crazy barrel roll focus, boost round, stress yourself. I don't think you'd make it. You'd have only one shot at you.
Either.
I think here he's got, so you've got blue and red have shots on him. Yellow is out of arc. So range 3. So I think to minimize damage back onto Jake, he's in the best spot he could be in.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong.
To get points on the board, yeah.
Like I said, I think it's the best move that he could have made in that turn. Will it make any difference to the outcome? No. I think it was slim in the first place that he was going to get much damage anyway. I think now that we're in the last 10 minutes, we're playing for points.
Just quickly though, I don't know if you
saw
that. That was 4 blanks on the evades.
Oh no,
that's painful. So 1 shield there on Jake.
It does potentially give him, maybe if it's quick, 2 rounds on yellow if he can be decent with his movement.
Yeah.
And not get caught out by too many of the X-wings. So it'll be interesting to see. I think that's the thing that I would be playing for now. See how much damage I can get in onto yellow. How many shots?
Definite. But I mean, I could almost see. So right now, I reckon 1 bank from blue, 4K from green, 1 bank from red, maybe a 4K from yellow. Craig seems to like doing the 4K, so I could imagine that could spin those 2 guns back around quite nicely.
Yeah, bank. I'd just bank in with reds. See if I can block up the A-wing.
Mm-hmm.
Have they got 2 banks, the X-wings?
Yes, they do have the 2 bank, and it's blue as well.
Yeah, I'd give it a 2 bank, clears the stress, and tries to block up the A-wing as much as possible. It might fly over him. Yellow, 4K to turn rounds and keep that arc.
Yeah.
Bank to the left with blue.
1 or 2 with blue. Maybe a 2 with blue. Like maybe extend himself up a bit in case Jake decides to go to the right. I mean, ideally, Jake's going to want to come in and fight, so maybe a 1 bank just to keep yourself a bit further back to give Jake a bit of space to get right in front of you and cause himself some troubles.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I'd probably, I don't know what I'd do with green, to be perfectly honest.
I think just straight up 4K with green.
Or what about a 3 Talon to the right?
It'll be tricky if yellow does that 4K. It might sort of clog each other up.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
Oh, so resistance doing the rebel one straight to victory. Oh no, he's doing. It's not 4K. It looks like it's another bump.
Another bump. I mean,
still not bad. Still fairly good.
Still take that, don't you? To be honest,
if Jake still wants to have a shot on him, Jake will get shot. Unless he can take it out, Jake will still get shot back.
Yeah, agreed. Unless he 1 banks to the right and then boosts to the left.
With
maybe
time,
he wiggles his way out.
with time ticking down, I don't think he needs to be getting damage in.
Yeah, of course. Very interesting. Yeah, I think it's maybe some of the engagements have not quite gone as how I thought, but I think over the course of the game, it's kind of, transpired to be kind of how I thought it would go. There wasn't enough spiky damage that's come out from the B wings.
Yeah.
Dutch got obviously knocked out quickly, but I still think that Ten Nummy himself, there's just not enough damage coming out of the list to get around these X-Wings, not take the damage themselves. And the X-Wings are far more resilient, as much as they don't have as many structure points and hull and shield, with all the extra evades and stuff like that. I think they're more durable.
Absolutely. I think the difficulty there for Conor is he always went in for that joust, and I know he had the less maneuverable ships, but the joust, with that much coming in at you, he kind of wanted to try and split up Craig's forces so that they Jake's running away. Yeah, he wanted to try and actually split up Craig's forces so he couldn't focus fire.
Yeah,
because that's the one thing that low initiative ships don't like coming up against is focus fire.
Yep.
So we've got some range 3 shots there. Will Jake blank out again? Oh, and advanced optics triggering there.
Thank you very much.
So
he's just so consistent.
Yeah.
So consistent. Oh,
and
good thing he focused.
Having to spend that focus, otherwise that would have been not quite dead, but a very, very hurting Jake. Number 3, so that's green.
Oh, getting the lather out.
Yep. Range 2. Was that obstructed? Very close. Oh, 3 hits again. He's got some good dice today. And that's half points on Jake.
Yep.
So, just over 3 minutes left. Can Conor get back in on yellow? I don't think so.
I can't see it. Some hard turns to the left from blue and green, 4Ks from
I don't even
red
think he needs
and yellow.
To...
Get yellow out of there if you want to preserve your points. Just absolutely ship him out of there and just 4K red.
No, I reckon you too hard with yellow. I reckon go for it. Why not? I mean, at this point, you've got.
Make it interesting. If you wanted to reserve everything, then you would just run right at that point.
I would choose absolute violence. So I'd be going
lies. You definitely would not.
In this position, if I could see that I've got Jake with 2 hit points left, I'd be going full violence. I would 3 bank with blue, and then boost round.
Yeah.
I'd 2 hard with yellow. If it fits, I'd boost round. I'd do a 3 Talon with red.
Yeah.
And then with green, who is stressed, I would do a 1 straight and then boost round. I would try and get all my guns in on Conor, on Jake there, and see if I could just take him out.
I'd keep the stress. I'd keep the stress on green and just do 2 hard.
Oh, widen that arc out a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this point, I don't really care that he's got a stress.
Yeah. So 2 Talon roll from yellow. So we've got violence being chosen here. He doesn't have to worry about that obstacle in front of him because he's not going to be going over it because there'll be no more dials after this.
Right.
Yeah, well, if you look at Conor's side of the board, that's a sad state of affairs. He's just tidied up the ships that aren't there, and he's like,
He's off.
He's going home.
Oh, you get a Talon roll, and you get a Talon roll.
Talon rolls for everybody today, guys.
Oh, poor Jake.
Yeah.
Poor Jake. But no, I think it's been a good game. It's been interesting to see. I knew the 40-70s were good.
Yeah.
And I think just to see how consistent they are. I know Craig's had some good dicer points as well, but they've just been so consistent. You know what I mean? They're not the flashiest ships by any stretch of the imagination, but they just, like we said before, I think they just do everything solidly.
Yeah.
Not fantastic. Don't really have a massive trick in their book or anything like that, but
it's all about the consistency though that they had, and
absolutely.
That's what they had. So even Jake is choosing violence there.
Yeah. Sloop.
Chuck that through Sloop. So we are going to get the final shot from Jake onto yellow. Will it work?
Ooh.
A hit crit.
Ooh.
It's range 3 though, so -1 for structural damage. So it's 2 evade dice. So it's 2v2. Evade focus. Oh, but we have a crit coming through.
Oh.
Unfortunately, we can't see that. It's one of the great. Oh, that
question: does he take the ship off?
That is a direct hit.
Hey.
So yeah, he did manage to take it off. So we'll say congratulations to Conor there. He did manage to get that ship down. The
moral victory.
All that damage right at the beginning. Yeah. So range 3 there from blue. So 1 crit. There's an evade in there. 1 evade. That was all there was. And range 3 from green, unobstructed. Will this be it?
Go on, Jake. I believe in you. Time's up. They've just stopped, right? That's the way this works.
They're just trying to debate whether it's obstructed, and yeah, I don't think there's any way in this world that's obstructed.
No.
So hit crit. This could be a bye Jake.
No.
We have 1 evade.
2. Is it 2?
Oh no, 2 evade. Sorry, 2 evades. It's a crit. Oh, panic pilot. Oh, so Jake survives.
Why are you R-ing? Conor's got like 1 ship.
I know,
with
but
1 health.
I was very much enjoying the violence there. That was a very good game to watch. I did enjoy that.
That was good.
Some nice flying there from Craig. I think Conor, the early phase really went against him, but there was still some really good stuff that he did in there. So again, that was a really good fun game. So that was round 4 of the Saleucami Showdown. I just want to say thank you very much for coming and joining us for that one, Andy.
No, thanks for having me again.
Absolutely, and hopefully again we'll try and get you on the channel with some more commentary and hopefully see possibly maybe you flying 40s, 70s with some named pilots.
Oh, maybe. Rumours have been started for less.
Okay. Well, again, guys, thank you very much for watching. As always, please do like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click that notification bell to know when your next video is ready for you. And we will see you next time.